So I woke up today, it's 9 a.m. It's been 36 hours of fasting, water only fasting. And so far so good. I'm good. I feel energetic, not hungry. So I have drank green tea and coffee. So these are the things that I am allowed, and you are too if you're doing an all-water fast, to help supplement and get you through. While you do not want to add vitamins, because they can deplete the creation of those vitamins naturally, you can take certain supplements that have nutrients and vitamins in them, or the byproduct of their decomposition metabolically creates these vitamins, meaning when your body breaks it down, then the vitamins will be created. This is flax seeds. Another good source of vitamins and nutrients during your fast are chia seeds, and they taste delicious too. I'm also adding turmeric to chilled ginger and cinnamon tea. So the way you make this is you put about a half a stick of big cinnamon. Let me show you what it is. I don't want to take it out of the bag, so I'll just use one that I burn for sage. So a big stick of cinnamon, about half of one of these, obviously broken out into pieces, and you boil however many quarts of water or whatever until the water is very brown, and then you can slice like a piece of ginger in slices for about 15 minutes. It might not get like as dark as the consistency of what I drink, but somewhere around there is good. And then chilling it, I drink it with like chia or flax seeds in the morning every day, regardless of whether I'm fasting or not. And it has completely changed my digestive system, as well as any lethargy that I felt. I was never a morning person. Now I wake up at 7 or 8 o'clock naturally. I'm full of energy, and that like fog, that brain fog that I had for like my whole life is gone, as well as any digestive like internal inflammation. So I feel like that's what not only boosted my metabolism, but like really helped me to gain my appetite again, because I would be hungry, but I wouldn't have an appetite. And now that's definitely not the case. It's been tonight at 9, it will have been 48 hours, and man, I'm feeling great. I mean, in between there's been a little bit of hunger pangs, but when there is that, I just drink water and it's fine. And I got a little bit hungry after the 36 hours, like an hour and a half later. I took some flax and chia seeds, and I don't know, I feel more energized than like when I do eat. So I'm gonna burn some cinnamon to help me. I don't know, it's just very soothing, very calming. The smell of the cinnamon, I feel like it helps just to be connected with the energy of spirit throughout this. I mean, the point of it was to reset my body and to connect with my inner self, and which I always am connected to it, but I guess maybe connect more with spirit through prayer. So I'm gonna do that now as well. I'll just light this. Ooh, damn, that burned the shit out of me. So be careful with blowing it. See, that like legit burned me. So, what about your chakras? I feel the heat. Your heart chakra. Really feel it when I put it around my crown. Breathe in, release the old. So I'm gonna go ahead and do this. I feel so calm. I feel no hunger. I feel no wanting of anything except where I am and what I have. So I'm gonna do this for a while, guys. Talk to you later. So it's been 42 hours. I'm like legit thinking about calling it quits. I know I'm not going to. It's literally like 5 hours away from 2 days. So, no. be strong. God helps me. Fuck, I got hungry. I know most people would be like, yeah, you should expect this. But I didn't. I drank some flax seeds, more water, and some green tea, but it just like comes and goes. It's calming down now, but it's not like hunger pangs, it's hunger. So I'll ask God to give me the strength. I can't give up now. Pray to God. Carry forward. Oh, and I didn't clarify. This is at 44 hours of fasting. 4 more hours left for 2 days. I'm gonna make it. Oh, fuck, I'm so hungry. This is still hour, like, 45. 46. You know, this, like, reminds me of withdrawal. And I was always like, no, I'll be fine. And then by, I was fine for 2 days. And then all of a sudden I wasn't. Because I really thought that by day 3, you know, which at 9 p.m., which will be 48 hours, I'll still have another 24 hours before I get to 72 hours. But sometimes they say you don't go into ketosis at some point between day 3 and day 5. Oh my god, I can't take 2 more days after tomorrow. So I really pray to God that I go into ketosis like now or tonight, because honestly, if not, then I don't know if I can make it past the 72 hours. I know that that's the hardest part, but holy fuck. It's like you already like got to this point. It's like stupid to give up, you know? It's usually like the first 24 hours are the hardest for people, and I got through that like nothing, and I got almost through the first 48 hours like nothing. God, please give me the strength. You're not asking me to do this for no reason. Just help me get through it. Oh, namaste. Pray for me, guys. Because I know you guys are like, this is already after the fact. No. Time doesn't exist. Energy is timeless. So do pray for me, and I will continue to pray for myself. Talk to you soon. It's 9 p.m. I just woke up. It's 48 hours exactly. I'm so fucking hungry. Oh god. My head kinda hurts. I'm gonna drink some water and see if I can go back to sleep. By the time I wake up, it will be 50 hours. No, 60. So I had really terrible hunger pangs. I tried drinking water. I drank a bunch of flax seeds and chia. So I looked up a video from this doctor about methods to get through any hunger pangs. So everything else I've done. So the only other thing was I put a dash of salt on my tongue, but it was still there. So the last thing he said was to try a little tiny bit of unsalted butter, or you can put the salt in it, which I didn't, because the amount of carbohydrates in salt is minuscule, and basically the amount you would need at least 50 grams of carbohydrates in order to break your fast or get out of ketosis, or out of the process of ketosis. I hope I'm in it, but I don't even know. I don't think so, because I think after ketosis you're not like hungry like that anymore. But sometimes it takes between the 3 and 5 days to get to that point. So anyway, I put the butter a little tiny bit, and it did relieve it to the point that it's not horrible. But I'm gonna try to remain strong, and hopefully tomorrow in the morning I'll be okay. We are about 50 hours in. God told me that I had to fast. And I was like, what? I was like, really? Because I always thought that fasting was stupid. Because, you know, I had heard years ago that there were many health benefits, and my good friend also told me that, and I did research, and I saw that there were, according to the articles, you know, a lot of benefits. I don't think that I'm like not gonna eat for weeks or whatever. Like it sounds like insane, but then I made this correlation when doing research about fasting. Rich Roll's channel, speaking with this doctor about the benefits of fasting. And he really goes into the deep, like, physiological benefits. There are a lot. Like, really, it just, like, resets your entire system. But even down to things like, curing diseases like cancer. But one of the most interesting things I found was our cells contain mitochondrial hairs. And what that means is they're these hairs that measure your lifespan. So as you're young, they're long and healthy or vibrant or whatever. And as you age, they begin to diminish and to shrink down, hence aging. And so the studies found that this renews your mitochondrial hairs, meaning it basically rejuvenates you a certain amount. Fasting does. As well as curing cancer and a number of other diseases. And in that, he also talks about something that I found very interesting because I suffer from fibromyalgia pain. He talks about patients that, are going through the process and it's difficult. Like the way he talks about it is very, very difficult. So I probably shouldn't complain about, being so fucking hungry, but, cancel. I'm satiated and content and full and abundant. Anyway, that's about psychological programming. But anyway, I digress. What the hell was I talking about? What the fuck? I hope I'm not covering the microphone. That's the weed. I'll get to that later. It's relevant to all this. But anyway, going back to this. What the fuck? Oh yeah. Okay, so yes, so there were people at the clinic that were going through a really hard time. Like he talked about them having like, nasal, like bunch of snot essentially. What he talks about is like the miraculous, seemingly, he says, but they are miraculous benefits of fasting, which are essentially, like I said, rejuvenation, curing of diseases, and if you are healthy and you don't have these things, the benefits are like life, like longevity, vitality, health, like I said, a rejuvenation of your cells, of your skin, a lot of really amazing benefits that when I heard that and I did a lot of in-depth research, as I always do before I do anything, the benefits really are amazing. And so I was like, I really want to do this after that. Like, I don't think that I can, because one time I didn't eat for like a few hours and I was like shaking and was all like a fever, like sweating and stuff like that. And I had to eat like whatever was there, like some old ass ramen and like like some apple from the USA that that never ever got rotten. It was there for like months, and it was just like a green, like beautiful, shiny, just talks to you with like the genetically modified shit in the United States. Anyway, I digress. So he talks about people who are there with these like chronic illnesses and diseases, people who are on, pain medication, on opiates, and on blood pressure medication, and a whole bunch of stuff, to control the pain, which is why, that contributes to their stress and blood pressure. Because I know, having chronic pain, it really diminishes your quality of life, and it's possible for it to diminish your quality of life to the level where, like, you don't have a quality of life anymore. Like, it's almost like, what is the point of this? What's, like, is that going to be my life? Like, to just be dealing with pain always? And that's, like, a really sad and difficult place to be, and I've been there. So, to hear that you're able to, or that all these patients have been able to withstand the process and then yield the rewards, like these great amazing benefits that are almost miraculous. So they talks about like people going in there being like, oh fuck, I'm gonna do this, and then seeing someone else like all fucked up and what's not and stuff like that, and like going through it and being like, oh shit, and then seeing them with their chronic pain and like maybe not being able to walk, properly or whatever, and being like, man, that guy doesn't stand a chance. And then seeing them like days later off medication, off any pain medication and blood pressure medication and all that stuff, and being like walking on their own and being like, oh, this is the first time maybe ever that I have not felt pain. Um, so now I understand why God wants me to do it, but still I was like, I don't know. So the first day was great. I was like even like dancing around. I did a bunch of exercises. Then I got dizzy and I was like, oh my god, like stop doing that. But even though exercise does benefit, like it does, if you are able to do it. But like for me, it makes me hungry. Like I would be like, I'm not gonna do that while I'm already hungry. It's not like fun for me. Is what I'm trying to say. It's not. I want the benefits, but the process is like shit. So not like shit, but for me, it's like damn, like that fuck. It was good the first day. At 9 p.m. today, it was 48 hours, and honestly, it was horrible. Like, I was so fucking hungry. And it was, like, almost this, like, impossible urge. Like, hunger, you know? But, like, really, after 2 days, it's like, I'm gonna see how I can get through this, and I had a green tea, I drank more water. I haven't had my ginger and cinnamon tea because like it makes you so hungry. Like it's you drink it in the morning and at night, and it really helps your digestive system, and it helps to like inner inflammation in your entire body. It like detox, but it also speeds up your metabolism, so it makes you hungry immediately. So if I wake up in the morning and I take it, I need to like eat breakfast right away. But when I put a lot of like flax seeds and chia seeds, then it's not so much like that's like stimulating your metabolism, which it does, but that's good because in the process that I'm in, that triggers the process of ketosis and the process of um, autophagy. Now, ketosis, what that even means, if we haven't gone into it, is the process by which your body basically switches the system by which you get fuel. The way that you get your energy would be like switching from like a car that switches from, or whatever, I don't know, I guess that cars like that exist. I don't fucking know anything about hybrid cars or cars in general. But yeah, like gas to electric or whatever, like a hybrid, I guess. That's what your body does. So typically you get your energy from your caloric intake. So whatever food you eat, calories you get from whatever it is that you eat or drink, that's how your body functions. That's what it functions off of. Your energy and your stamina and all that come from that. Now, when you do a fasting, after about 3 to 5 days, usually within 72 hours, it can be up to 5 days. That's where your body goes into a state of ketosis. That means the method by which you get your energy is no longer the calories that you take in. It becomes your stored fat cells and lean muscle, which is why people like to do that for weight loss. But the other benefits are like, as I said, miraculous. So getting back to it, the guy who was with this, like having a really hard time with the boogers coming out and all that stuff. After a few days, was walking without his walker, without medication, and maybe for the first time in his life didn't have any pain. And that is not just him. That happens over and over and over to all the patients that are there. So I really wanted to do this, right? So, but I, was like, shit, man. I don't know if I can do this. And if I'm going to be with this hunger for this time, for potentially 3 more days, I can't do it. And so I told God, asked him, and I prayed, and I meditated on a lot of things, and on the lessons that we learn, and the paths that he provides for us, that he pushes us down in order to, because life will give you whatever experience is best for the evolution of your consciousness. Again, life will give you whatever experience is best and necessary for the evolution of your consciousness. whether that's a good or bad experience, that's between you and God, what you've planned. And this is why in the Bible they mention that this is like a sacrifice. You know what I mean? But I think that God just said that to them because of their limited understanding of science at the time. And so he was like, it's, I don't want to be sacrilegious or anything. I'm just saying, because of their limited understanding, maybe he was like, it makes me happy. It's a sacrifice to me if you don't eat. But really what he wanted them to do is to fast for the benefits. Maybe because of like whatever, I don't know, whatever it was, limited food, or I don't know. I think people lasted a really long time then, though. Yeah, for the health benefits, for the propagation of the species or whatever, of mankind, or of the lineage that was going to be necessary for certain information to come into the collective consciousness. That's my opinion. But there's a reason it's mentioned in the Bible, and it is a sacrifice. But I don't believe, like, for me, it's like my life is the sacrifice. All the negative experiences and the things that I've been through as a way to clear out generational curses, etc. If you resonate with that, you understand. If not, no worries. I just don't think that God, like that God, not the God of their Bible, but like God, for real, actual God, would require that of us when we come here and we live a difficult life as a generational curse breaker or an earth angel light work, or whatever you want to resonate with. You do it because your soul, when you're there in the fifth dimension or higher, so wants to help humanity. And so here I'm like, what the hell? Like, I would never choose any of this, but nonetheless, it is what it is. But we'll get into that journey of my transformation, my healing, let's say, my healing of everything, of my traumas, of my addiction, of my mental health problems, of depression, thoughts of suicide, anxiety, PTSD, loss, grief. I went through all of those things, and then here I am now, and now the process of that is it's a journey, and it can't be understood in one gulp. It needs to be taken piece by piece. So, back to this and the sacrifice. I told God, that's a really big sacrifice for me, because I made all this effort to eat healthily, which I thought was like such a burden to have to like make food. Oh my god, and like worry about breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and it's like, oh, I wish I could just like take a pill and not worry about it. And I did take vitamins, but it doesn't work that way. Your body needs to naturally metabolize natural, whole, clean food. And that's just what it needs to be for you to feel good. But of course, I needed to have all this inner healing first before I could even care about outer healing, meaning my physical body. Because like when you're sad and depressed and in pain, in a lot of physical pain, like you're not gonna be like, oh, I need to like worry about like eating this good food. Like I'm like, I should like my body should be happy, or I should be happy, whatever, with if I ate something today, which I didn't always do, and so now I do. Like I do. And like methodically, like when my body requires it, I pay attention. Basically, that's what I do. I listen to my own needs instead of being like, whatever, I'll do that later, or not at all. And that's what I do now. So that's why it's so hard. That's what I was telling him tonight, and I was like, fuck, I don't know, like, what do you want from me? Because like I'm trying, and this is hard, and then I just had this like revelation of all the experiences in my life, which I won't go into. And I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna smoke some weed. And yesterday I smoked at night, and it didn't make me hungry, because that yesterday day, which was the first morning of my fast, I smoked, and I was like, oh fuck, and I got so hungry, and I drank a bunch of chia seeds, and I was like, I'm never gonna smoke again. It's not a good idea. But then I did it last night, and I didn't get hungry at all, and it was really cool, because it's my opinion that marijuana speeds up the process of ketosis, and the reason I think that is because the science backs that up, and the reason I say that is because marijuana stimulates your appetite and your metabolism, so it makes you hungry. That's why you get the munchies. exercise in the same way speeds up your metabolism and also makes you hungry, and it stimulates the process of ketosis. So I believe and feel that smoking also stimulates the process of ketosis. And, if I didn't go into it yesterday, I hope I go into it now, but I smoked and I had these revelations and I felt really relaxed and I feel good now and I'm not hungry. And, well, I skipped the whole good part because what it was that I was praying because I was so hungry and I was like, I don't know if I can do this. But I had these deep revelations and realizations. And I said to God, please, if you want me to do this, please just give me the strength then. And help me get through it. And that's what I was thinking about. I got this sort of sacred rage. And it made me say things to certain people that normally I wouldn't say these things. But then, because then I have that whole, people-pleasing reflex or whatever that's left from trauma or, dealings with narcissists and things like that. That makes you be like, oh, maybe I shouldn't have, but then you review it again and you're like, no, that was the right and just thing to do. And that's okay. Even if it's not, so super nice. Because I am always nice and diplomatic, even then. But still, you have to stand in your truth. And if something is true, sometimes it's not always nice to hear the truth, but it is nonetheless the truth. And you can say it in a nice, lovely way, and it's still the truth. So that sort of sacred rage came out of me, and I was talking to God, and I was like, help me to understand, help me to learn the lessons necessary, help me to get through this, if it's your will that I should. And that I'm not ever abandoned by him. He's always been there, even though that's what I was thinking about, even through the difficult, the really difficult times. And then I remembered all the hard times that I had, the actual real hard times, not this. Well, yes, like this, but different. But no, the really hard times. And how, even though I felt alone and I didn't even know why I had to do that, I got through it. And I remember how I got through it. And how I got through it was to be detached from the situation. Be an observer externally, I'm watching a movie. So I see my feelings, I observe them, I acknowledge them. And they're there. If I'm uncomfortable, then I am. If I'm sad, then I am. If I'm anger is one of those that's weird for me because I don't maybe know how to manage it because I don't have it that often. And it makes me really uncomfortable, all of them do, But I've learned to sit comfortably, let's say, in sorrow or in sadness and in a lot of uncomfortable emotions. I was going to say negative emotions. I mean, that's what most people would consider them, but, emotions are just what they are. And things are what they are too. So if you're going through a hard, difficult time, things simply are as they are, and the best way for you to get through it is to just let it be. And when I thought that and I smoked, as I just did right now, that I got a little bit hungry, but then I was saying all of this, and then it just went away. Because you have to learn to sit in the uncomfortable parts of life. And I'm not just talking about fasting, I'm talking about life. But this is just a metaphor for that. Learn to sit in the uncomfortableness of it all, and let it go pass through you. And you'll come out on the other side and everything will be fine. And I'm waiting and I'm hoping for these miraculous benefits, and I know that they're coming. Most of all, my vitality, which is necessary for this next phase in my life. So I had this deep realization as I was laying down, right, I didn't even include any of that most important part. I was listening to the Solfeggio frequencies. Solfeggio, I don't know. I think it's Italian. I think I'm pronouncing it weird, even though I'm trying to learn Italian. But anyway, those are really good, and this video that I found is amazing. I'll link it down below. You should really check it out if you're interested. It basically goes through every frequency and its benefits, so at 176 hertz, it's healing pain and this and that, and then, etc. Up to 934, 800 or something, frequency of miracles. I don't know. I don't remember. But it's what I felt in my chakras was absolutely amazing. And so I put that on, as I was feeling really this desperation and hungry and all that. And I was maybe gonna have to quit this. And I was meditating and I lay down and I felt everything go through me, and I felt this pull in my solar plexus, really weird. I don't know how to describe it. From my between my solar plexus and my sacral chakra, it tingled and then pulled in. It was physical in nature, and I knew that good things were happening. And also my back has been aching a lot all day since the morning. And yesterday, I think too, in the afternoon, because I think that that's the doctor in the video talked about how that's has to do with, just basically a purging process. Basically what happens before you purge negative things, it's just healing. It has to rise to the surface. You need to feel the uncomfortableness, you let it go, or you heal it, and then thus is the process of transmutation. So same with this, I think you have to feel it first, and then it goes away. But if that was my process of healing it, then I hope so. I hope tomorrow's not hard. Please, God Most High. But I feel very good now, and I hope I feel the same in the morning and all day long. And I thank God, and I thank you for watching this, and I can't wait for everything good that's waiting for me on the other side of difficulty and resilience. Oh, and I completely forgot to mention that I am also quitting smoking in this whole process. So that's been fuck all. It's been that's been maybe even more challenging than not eating for the first, for these first 2 days. That's been really difficult. I feel if I had a cigarette, it would be so much more, I don't know, just easier, I guess. And now my back is really aching. So I hope I can go to sleep. I just wanted to mention, because I forgot to mention that has been really fucking hard. Especially the first day and a half. The first day, all yesterday. I got a lot of cravings. See, but God is touching me, illuminating all my crown chakra. Yeah, and my back hurts. So I'm gonna do some Reiki on that, and God will take it all away. And see you guys tomorrow. It will have been, wait, what time is it now? It's 12:30. So 60 hours, right? When I wake up. Yep. So I will see you then. Good night.